After being stuck in the underworld for what might as well have been an eternity, Hades finally convinced his brothers to give him another job. They ended up putting Hades in charge of the Academy for Gifted Deities. Unfortunately for Hades, this job was almost as miserable as hanging around a bunch of dead souls. "Ayo, Principal Hades, you wanted to see me?" The young Apollo walked into Hades' room, accompanied by Hermes. "Principal Hades, did you hear how our dad got another chick?" Apollo quickly covered Hermes' mouth. "Shut up, Hermes. You're always gossiping." Apollo angrily muttered while still holding Hermes' mouth closed. Apollo and Hermes kept wrestling until they took notice of another kid in the room, making them stop completely. "Glad you idiots could finally stop." Hades sighed. "This here is Ares, god of war, blah blah blah." Hades' tone earned him some blank stares. "I'm busy doing principal shit, so show him around. Tell him everything he needs to know, all right? Now get out of my office." Hades waved them away. Apollo, Hermes, and Ares awkwardly stood outside Hades' door. "So, your name is Ares, huh?" Apollo finally broke the awkwardness. Ares simply nodded, still in shock over Hades. "Where are you from?" "I live on Mount Olympus just like you," Ares responded, offended Apollo didn't know of him. You must be pretty important," Apollo said to himself out loud. "Interesting. Never thought I'd see Ares again," Hermes thought. "Well, if you want to survive in this zoo they call a school, then you might want to stick by me, kid." As Apollo talked, the bell rang. "Yeah, you're going to want to stick by us?" Hermes chimed in, making Apollo look at him annoyed. "Look." Apollo pulled Ares closer to him. "Lesson #1 newbie. Don't tell Hermes shit. He's the messenger god. All he does is gossip and talk shit. My dad even told me he used to be Hades' personal messenger. Bro is a rat." "Damn." Apollo and Ares looked back at Hermes. "Yeah," Ares nodded. "He looks like he'd snitch on anyone." "What are you guys talking about?" Hermes inquired. "Nothing. Damn." Turning back to Ares. "So who's your homeroom teacher, bro?" Ares grabbed a folded sheet of paper from his pocket. "Miss Medusa." Ares spoke, making Apollo and Hermes look at each other. "Oh no," Hermes couldn't help but say. "Come here." Apollo pulled Hermes near him once again. "Let me tell you something before we go to this class. Miss Medusa is the manifestation of the grossest act that can be committed, but in physical form. She's unjustifiably ugly, like so ugly that you might just kill yourself on sight. So ugly that—" "Okay, I get it. What's your point?" Ares interrupted him. "Boy, just don't throw up." Apollo finally got to the point. "'Cause if you offend her, she might turn you to stone," Apollo warned Ares. "Yeah, right. Why would a teacher do that?" Ares asked. "Okay," Apollo said, allowing Ares to believe whatever he wants. "Go ahead and play with it. Don't say I didn't warn you." Apollo finished as he, Hermes, and Ares finally reached their homeroom. Apollo put his hands on the door and took a deep, calming breath. "I'm telling you, be cool." Apollo opened the door, and the 3 students walked in. "Apollo, Hermes, I see you brought someone with you." Medusa spoke. "Yes, ma'am, I'm—" Ares finally looked at his homeroom teacher, flinching and stepping back a little. "What the fuck? Her dirty dreads are actually snakes. And why are her lips so thin and crusty? Why is her whole face so crusty? Oh, God!" Ars internally screamed. He's just a little shy, Miss Medusa, especially around goddesses. You know how it goes." Apollo nervously laughed. "I thought goddesses were supposed to be the most gorgeous beings in existence." Ares began to cry. "Oh, it's okay, Ares. Everyone here is nice." Medusa put her hands on Ares' shoulders. "It's touching me." Ares covered his mouth, trying not to throw up. "Why don't you introduce yourself to the class? No need to be shy." Medusa asked him. Yes, ma'am? Ares said, regaining his composure. Hello, everyone. My name is Ares, god of war, you know? My favorite color is blood red. Favorite hobbies would have to be committing genocide towards my enemies and long walks. Let's see. I think that's it. Ares spoke casually. Okay, very nice, Ares. Anyone have any questions for Ares? Medusa asked the class. Yeah, I do. Achilles stood up. You're the god of war, right? So you're nice with the hands, right? Achilles asked as the class started to groan. Sure, I like to think I'm pretty decent when it comes to combat, Ares replied. Can you take me, though? Achilles clapped his hands together. Achilles! Apollo shouted with an annoyed tone. Stop picking fights with everyone just because you're a little cold with the hands. All we gotta do is hit you in your heels, and you know that. Sit down, Apollo ranted. Bro, Apollo, sit down. You're the god of music, poetry, and medicine. Go somewhere and write a poem or something, Achilles replied back. You can cure our ouchies afterwards, nurse. Boy, what? Apollo stood up. I might be nice with them words, but I'm nice with these hands too. Apollo was taunting Achilles. Calm down, you two. Medusa gave them a scary look that made them sit down. You can take your seat, Ares, thank you. Medusa gently talked to Ares as he took his seat. Since we have a new student, I'll explain the purpose of this academy and our expectations. Medusa started to talk. We decided to start a school exclusively for you descendants of gods. A student raised their hand, causing Medusa to stop. Yes, Plutus? If this is a school for gods, then why is Achilles here? Plutus asked. I'm glad someone is finally addressing this. Helen chimed in. What are you talking about? I'm part god on my dad's side. Achilles refuted. Achilles, your dad is like 1/4 god. Triton said, Man, whatever. Stop acting like I'm some mortal. Achilles scoffed. Achilles, if you're not a mortal, then why did your mom have to stick you in the river Styx so you wouldn't die someday? That sounds like some mortal ass shit to me. What god worries about mortality? Apollo jumped in. Okay, can you all whoop me, though? That's all I want to know. Fuck who's mortal or not. Achilles looked around, waiting for an answer. That's what I thought, so don't worry about if I'm immortal or not, Plutus. Achilles finished making his point while everyone avoided eye contact. Homeroom continued on until the bell rang. All right, that's the bell. I'll see you back here for history. Medusa dismissed the class. Apollo and Ares continued talking as they walked through the halls. Yeah, I can't stand that, Achilles, I'm telling you. Hey, boys, yo-ho! A group of giggling girls screamed. Who's the new kid? The girls said, waving. Whoa, who are they? Ares said, waving back. That's just Iris and her sisters. Apollo told Ares. Might as well lay down some game. Ares said, about to walk over to the girls. Bro, you do not want to do that. Apollo said, stopping him. Those girls with Iris are harpies. They lure you in with their looks, then feed off your negative emotions until you're in a hollow state. You'll be a shadow of what you once were, a man with no ambitions. Plus, there's some bird-ass bitches. Literally. Apollo finished explaining, making Ares look at them again and notice their wings. What makes them any different from other girls, though? Ares asked. Oh, nothing. I just wanted to sound smart. Apollo quickly admitted. So are we talking to them or not? Ares asked. Oh, definitely. Just don't catch any feelings, Apollo said as they raced over to the harpies. Yeah, I had to let that boy Hector know what's up. I was working them until they jumped me in shit. Achilles was bragging to the harpies until he was interrupted by Apollo. Achilles! Stop bragging about beating up on some mortals. You're not impressing anyone. Apollo started arguing with Achilles for the 100th time. Apollo, you keep talking shit. But I know you sent Paris's mortal ass to shoot me in my heels. Achilles exposed the truth. Man, what? I did no such thing. Stop making excuses just 'cause some humans worked you a little, Apollo said, looking away. Uh-huh. I bet you won't fight me, though? Achilles put his hands up. All right, then. I'm tired of you thinking you're hot shit 'cause you beat up on some mortals. Try that shit on me. Apollo took a fighting stance as well. So what's up with you ladies? Ares started talking to the harpies while Apollo and Achilles fought. Heh, hi, the four girls giggled. So you're the god of war? No wonder you look so fit. One of the harpies, known as Aiello, said, feeling on Ares' biceps. Well, you know, Ares said, blushing. I work out a little. He started nervously laughing. Apollo and Achilles were at this point breathing heavily. Damn mortal or not, this human is kinda strong. Apollo started staring at Achilles' heels. I just need one good shot. Apollo started smiling maliciously. Just give it a rest, Apollo. The voice scared Apollo as he turned around and noticed his older sister, Athena. There's no way you're going to be able to hit Achilles' heels while he's on guard. Your choices right now are to either catch him off guard or settle for a stalemate. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy, concluded. I'm tired. Apollo paused to take some deep breaths. Of you interrupting my fights and giving me reasonable battle strategies, Apollo said angrily as he continued breathing heavily. Just looking out for you, dear brother. Athena began walking away. If you don't get to your next class, big sister Persephone will be mad at you. Again. Athena walked away to her next class. You know, she's kind of cute, Achilles said, watching her walk away. Don't even think about it, Apollo said, looking at him blankly. Ares, let's go, Apollo shouted. Ares ignored him and continued flirting with the harpies. Ares! Apollo finally got Ares' attention, making him flinch. All right, Ares gave in to Apollo's demands. See you ladies later, Ares said, trying to sound cool. Okay, maggots, 100 laps on the track, Persephone shouted. So that's your sister? Why does she look so demonic? Ares asked Apollo while running. She's been like that ever since Principal Hades kidnapped her and made her his wife. Apollo explained. Oh, ours didn't really know where to start. So, your dad was just cool with that? Ares finally managed to ask. Couldn't really say shit to the guy whose job is to watch after dead souls forever. I mean, what does he have to lose? Ares thought about it for a second. It was a fair enough point. Plus, she's the goddess of vegetation. She kept annoying Pops with that meat is murder vegan shit. Honestly, Unc did us a solid, Apollo added. Seriously, what is wrong with your family? Ares thought to himself. By the way, which gods are your parents? Apollo finally asked. Honestly, I don't know. I've heard whispers, but before Ares could finish, he was interrupted by Achilles yelling, Apollo! Let's finish this once and for... Before Achilles could finish, Apollo had already hit him in his heels. Fuck! God damn you! Stupid mother! I need to stop wearing fucking sandals to school! I told my mom to get the damn steel boots. Fuck! Achilles yelled while holding his foot. Should have done that way earlier, Apollo said, with Ares nodding in agreement as they started to run again. I'ma get you for this, Apollo! Achilles cried.